Hello, my name is Colin Weinstein, and my presentation today is on my Park Locator application. My project originated as an app to locate hiking trails. However, when performing the search for hiking trails locally, I noticed that I was receiving a lot of false positives. This led me to think of other possible ideas. While a Park Locator app is a simple concept, my goals for this application were lofty. I wanted to include a way to determine if the parks were pet-friendly and many other functions that I am currently not capable of implementing. However, my main purpose of a Park Locator app was to include a favorites list for the user to remember their favorite parks, since it is so easy to forget the name or location of a park that you've only been to a few times. This is the class diagram for my application. The layout is slightly confusing, so I will go through it. On the top right, the view controller view class is shown. This is the view that the app is initially loaded into, which displays a simple image and two buttons. One button to load the sign-in view controller, the other to load the map view controller, which loads the map view of the nearest parks. Clicking on the button to view the nearest parks segs the user to the map view controller. Here, their location is loaded if permission is enabled in the app, and there is a button on the top right to find the nearest parks in the region. The user may scroll around in the map view and use this button to find other parks in other locations as well. Clicking on the sign-in button in the main menu segs the user to the sign-in view controller, where they can sign in to an existing account, sign up for a new account, or clear the core data user data. The sign up ensures that the account username is unique, and the sign in function ensures that the user knows the password correlated with the user. After creating an account, you must then sign in to view your account information. After signing in, the user is segged to the account view controller. Here they view their account information and they are able to make changes to their profile picture and password. After making changes, a Save Changes button appears at the bottom of the screen that allows the user to save any updates. There is a button to load the favorite parks of the user, which segs the user to the favorites view controller, and there is also another button to again seg the user to the map view controller directly from their account's view controller. When the user chooses to view their favorites, the favorites view controller is loaded and displays a table view of the user's favorite parks. The user may add a new favorite using the button on the top right of the screen and may swipe left on an existing row to delete it from their favorites. The table view updates automatically when the user adds or deletes a park from their favorites. The table view is composed of cells of type favorites table view cell. This is a custom table view cell class which displays the park name and the rating of the park, which is measured in stars 1 through 5, next to an image of a star. If the user then taps on a park listed in the favorites view controller table view, the user is segged to the details view controller view. In this view, the specific details of the of the park are shown. This includes the name, rating, and description of the park. Future updates to the app plan to include the ability to store important information about the park, including whether it is pet-friendly, the ability to add pictures for the park that the user chooses, and the ability for the user to navigate directly to the park in the map view. This is the MVC diagram for my application. Starting with the model for this project is implemented in core data. A user object is managed by core data that contains the user data, favorite park data, and any pictures or other relevant information for the application. The model notifies the controller of data changes in real time, provides data persistency, and ensures unique login capability. The view displays the information and user interface to the user. This includes displaying the view controllers, map view, table views, photo picker, and any information required for user interaction. The view reacts to user interaction and updates the controller. The controller handles user interactions and interacts itself with the core data model. The core data retrieves user information from core data, modifies changed data, retrieves user location data, stores the user and the user's parks data, saves new data in core data, and controls the secure login functionality. My app is divided into two main capabilities. The first is to quickly view nearby parks. The park view displays annotations that display the location of nearby parks. The map view can be dragged around and new parks can be found using the Find button in the navigation bar. From the main view, the user may also load the sign-in screen, allowing the user to sign up for an account or to log in with an existing account. Core data is used for the storage of all user account information. User accounts are created with unique usernames and have secret passwords to log in. All user account data can be easily cleared in-app. Whether this is considered a security flaw or a feature can be decided by the user. However, before this application would be presented to the main consumers, this would be removed and is only here for implementing testing of core data. When viewing their user account screen, the user's password and profile picture can be changed. Their profile picture may be changed to an image in their library or an image taken from the camera. Furthermore, the user can transition to a table view of their favorite parks. From the favorites table view, the user can view the details of a specific park and edit the park's information. The user also has a quick way to view nearby parks from their account screen. All user data is stored in core data to ensure persistency and to allow for logins after device shutdown. Here are a few views of my application. On the far left, one can see the account details screen. Here, the user has already made a change to their account, which can be seen with the Save Changes button that has appeared at the bottom. If the user were to click this button, the recent changes would be saved and the button would disappear. If the user were to view their favorites and then click on a park in their favorites table view, it would take them to the second screen, which shows a park's details view and the alert controller associated with editing the park's description. Here, the user can edit the description of the park to a new one, and from the main details view controller, they can click on the stars beneath the title and name of the park to change the rating of the park. By clicking on the stars, it fills out the stars up to the one you filled or the one you clicked and changes the rating to that number of stars. On the far right, the view controller for the map view can be seen, showing the current location of the user as well as all nearby parks. Unfortunately, my project did have a few limitations. Core data, for one, could not be used completely to store park data. I attempted at first to create a core data object to use as a model for the parks and set a relationship between the user core data object and the newly created core data park object. However, I could not get this method to work. This method was not taught in class, and I attempted to rely on online resources to learn this, but I was unsuccessful. I then attempted to use a transformation type object in the user's core data object, transforming them into arrays that store the user's park data. Unfortunately, I could not get this to work either. The online resources for this were unclear, and this method was also not covered in class. My last attempt at storing the park data in core data was by storing the array description data in core data as a string type. I would take the array of strings correlating with the park's names, park's ratings, and park's descriptions and call the .description method on them and store the description of those arrays as a string in the core data model. I could then convert back and forth as necessary from string type to array type. This appeared to have been working. However, I ran out of time to fully implement it in my current application release, and it was unable to work in my table view. Additionally, the map view is currently lacking functionality that I wish to implement in a future release. The map view allows the user to view maps, but must allow them to directly add a park to their favorites from the map view. Without the ability to directly add a park to their favorites from the map view, the app is severely limited in its ease of use. One of the most crucial things I have learned from this project and class was the MVC architecture. I have struggled with all the GUI work I have done in the past, but I understand it much better now and have grown to enjoy trying to perfect my in-app user interfaces. Furthermore, the ability to efficiently design a project so that referring to it and changing it in the future is not confusing or too difficult has been crucial for these labs. Among other things, this class has taught me to hone my time management skills much better. I tend to be a perfectionist when it comes to my application UI, which puts me behind schedule when working on the other functionalities of the app. I have learned it is important to balance the two to ensure all goals of the project are met. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the entirety of this class, including this project. However, there are always room for improvements. I like the way the class is taught and structured and felt that it did a great job of teaching me the requirements of this class. However, a shorter project that is similar to the 3-part final project, in addition to it, assigned earlier in the semester would be nice. While this would add to the workload, this would help prep students for the challenges involved in changing and fixing their final project when the time comes. At least in my case, this was the first time I have had to design, implement, and present a project all by myself. And as my first personal project, I have thoroughly enjoyed the process and look forward to doing it again. Thank you for listening and for the great semester.